Success Mantra. We shape future.
Hello everyone. So here we are with Simran Sidhu who has secured AIR 157 in CLAT 23. So Simran, a very heartily congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So Simran, before starting the interview, tell us about yourself something, Simran.
As you already told, sir, I got AIR 157 in CLAT exam. I am currently studying in 12th class. I actually prepared with boards, so I'm currently studying in 12th class.
So it's very nice to hear you are in a class 12 student and you aced CLAT with a very good marks. So I think Simran, it must have been a very difficult task to manage class 12 boards and CLAT examination that too in December. So how you managed?
I will not say that it was like very difficult, but I will say it was little tricky to manage. CLAT preponed from May to December. तो आई विल से कि मैंने थोड़ा सा टाइम बोर्ड्स को कम अलॉट करके क्लैट को ज्यादा टाइम अलॉट किया, लाइक वीक में बस 2-3 घंटे 12th के लिए. थोड़ा ये भी था कि दिसंबर के बाद भी प्रिपेयर हो सकता है 12th के लिए, टाइम बचेगा अगर
Yes.
क्लैट.
Very right, Simran. It's a very nice message to all those students like who are in class 12 and still preparing for CLAT or planning to prepare for CLAT. Like they can devote some times to CLAT and then boards. They have to shift, like, right?
Yes.
So Simran, you are a 2-year classroom program with Success Mantra. So how was your experience with classroom at Success Mantra and how you managed it and how you think like 2-year classroom program work with CLAT?
जैसे मेनली इसमें जैसे फर्स्ट ईयर में तो यूजली 10th क्लास तक की माय रीडिंग हैबिट वाज एक्चुअली नॉट वेरी गुड. तो फर्स्ट ईयर में तो ये था कि सर बेसिक नॉवेल्स वगैरह स्टार्टिंग में कि थोड़ा रीडिंग में इंटरेस्ट डेवलप करने के लिए. उसके बाद धीरे धीरे इजी न्यूज़पेपर्स लाइक ट्रिब्यून. उसके बाद जैसे 10-15 दिन के बाद द हिंदू, द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस. धीरे धीरे सर फर्स्ट ईयर में बस यही था कि रीडिंग में थोड़ा वो किया, इंटरेस्ट डेवलप. और लीगल के बहुत ही बेसिक कंसेप्ट एकदम कि जो स्टार्टिंग वाले फंडामेंटल्स हैं लीगल के. लेकिन सर सेकेंड ईयर में थोड़ा फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीज किया, जो टाइम अलॉट किया था क्लैट को. तो सेकेंड ईयर से सर रेगुलर मॉक्स, सेक्शनल टेस्ट और उनको एनालाइज करना और क्लासेस रेगुलर अटेंड करना, उस टाइप से.
Nice, very nice. Like you divided your preparation, complete 2-year preparation with Success Mantra, like in 2 parts, basically. Like
Yes.
first one, you dedicated to build up the basic concept and principles that
Yes.
you already told, like reading, right? And in
Yes.
the second year, you dedicated completely towards the practicing, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Simran, how did you choose law and why law school? Any particular thing? Yes, this was the reason I chose law school. Like, what was your reason for law school? Why CLAT?
लाइक सर माइंड में था कि 10th तक थोड़ा लॉ में इंटरेस्ट था, कि वैसे पॉलिटी वगैरह पढ़ते थे जैसे सिविक्स में 9th 10th 8th 9th 10th में. तो
Yes.
सर जैसे 10th के बाद स्ट्रीम चूज करने के लिए भी अराउंड 15-20 डेज का टाइम मिलता है. तो इन दैट टाइम सर आई लाइक स्टडीड बायो, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री. लेकिन सर मैंने जब थोड़ा क्लैट के बारे में जाना तो स्टार्ट किया इसके बारे में, और थोड़ी बहुत रिसर्च करने के बाद जैसे यूट्यूब पे थोड़ी फ्री क्लासेस उस टाइप से, तो वहां से धीरे धीरे इंटरेस्ट लॉ में डेवलप होता गया. जैसे जैसे प्रिपरेशन आगे बढ़ती गई तो लॉ में इंटरेस्ट और भी डेवलप होने लगा.
It's very nice message you actually gave to the Gen Z students, like they should use social media platform for researching rather than scrolling reels and so on and so forth. Like you really use social media well in choosing your career, right?
Yes, sir.
It's nice, Simran. And Simran, let me ask you a question. Like, are you a first generation lawyer or a second generation lawyer, or someone in your family is in law field?
No, sir, I am first generation lawyer only. So I hope I will work hard and make name in this field.
It's very nice to hear. Actually, I am also a first generation lawyer, and we literally congratulate and hope for a very best lawyering in your life. So Simran, there was basically a change in the pattern, like traditional pattern to the current pattern, and you might have faced some kind of problem or difficulty during the preparation. Like before 2019, the paper used to be in the single lining, right, and the option based. But after 2019, there was a drastic change, and questions used to come in the paragraph form. So how you tackled this change in the pattern completely?
आई विल से लाइक सर 2019 से पहले की रीडिंग ओरिएंटेड इतना नहीं था क्लेट की। जैसे एक सब्जेक्ट का ओवरव्यू आप अगर ज़्यादा इन डेप्थ जाके भी ना उसको स्टडी करो क्लेट के लिए, तो फिर भी ये था कि स्कोर कर सकते थे 2019 से पहले। लेकिन 2020 में जैसे पैटर्न चेंज हुआ, तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि रीडिंग ओरिएंटेड हुआ पूरे पैटर्न क्लेट का। तो इसमें ये था कि कोई भी टॉपिक हम अगर कर रहे हैं तो हमें थोड़ा इन डेप्थ करना पड़ेगा। अगर जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हम प्रेज़िडेंट वाला टॉपिक लें, अगर 2019 से पहले कोई भी क्वेश्चन उठा के देखें उससे रिलेटेड या कोई भी जीके से टॉपिक, तो जीके से टॉपिक लेके देखें, तो उसमें ये था कि यूजुअली सर 1 या 2 क्वेश्चन बनते थे एक टॉपिक से। लेकिन जैसे सर 2020 के बाद अगर हम 2023 का पेपर ही उठा के देखें, तो उसमें जैसे एक प्रेज़िडेंट से रिलेटेड पैसेज था। उसमें जैसे एक क्वेश्चन प्रेज़िडेंट से बना कि कौन था, वो थोड़ा ये आ गया कि करंट अफेयर्स वाला, वाइस प्रेज़िडेंट कौन बना, वो कैंडिडेट कौन था वाइस प्रेज़िडेंट के लिए। और एक सर थोड़ा पॉलिटी से भी रिलेट हुआ कि किस टाइप का इलेक्शन है, और थोड़ा स्टैटिक में भी गया कि फर्स्ट दलित प्रेज़िडेंट कौन थे। तो वो
एग्जैक्ट।
थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड और स्टैटिक जीके वो सब मिला के पूछ रहे हैं सर। अभी तो इन डेप्थ जाना पड़ेगा जो भी टॉपिक कर रहे हैं। आई फील
So
दैट।
overall, you actually, if I sum up the whole thing in a single line, it was like ki, if you are preparing in the new pattern, like after 2019, the new pattern demands a complete coverage of a particular topic,
यस सर।
irrespective of its static, its geographical part, its polity part, and everything. One should be aware about it, right? Then one should be able to answer like out of 7 questions, 5 to 6 questions one can be able after that, right?
यस सर।
So
लाइक
complete
इसमें
overview is necessary.
यस, लाइक इसमें जैसे 100 टॉपिक्स ओवरव्यू उनका करने की बजाय हम ये भी कर सकते हैं कि 50 टॉपिक्स को रेदर देन 100 की 50 टॉपिक्स को ही इन डेप्थ कर लें। जो हम टाइम 100 टॉपिक्स को अलॉट कर रहे थे, वो
Mhm.
50 को अलॉट करके कि उनको इन डेप्थ करें, उन टॉपिक्स को अच्छे से बार-बार रिवाइज करें जैसे।
Right, right, right. So in-depth revision is very necessary for
जैसे
each and
फॉर
every topic.
स्पेशली फॉर करंट अफेयर्स रिवीजन इज नेसेसरी बिकॉज़ लाइक एग्जाम प्रेशर भी रहता है वहाँ पे, थोड़ा टाइम मैनेजमेंट, तो कई चीज़ें भूलना वहाँ पे भूल ना जाएँ, तो थोड़ा टाइम उनको टाइमली रिवीजन भी नीडेड है कि
Exactly.
हफ्ते में जैसे एक बार रिवाइज कर लिया।
Yes, yes.
तो
So Simran, just like we have a complete glimpse of how you tackle your examination and how exactly this exam worked for you. So let's start about the subject-wise analysis, like how your journey starts and how it ended till 18 December. That is the date of the CLAT, right? So first is tell us about something about the reading comprehension and English, how you tackled, and the journey of your reading.
I will say that English comprehension, especially English section, is like divided into two parts. First of all, like first is the basic passage one. Like you have to understand the basic gist of the passage. Like what is author trying to imply? What is he trying to say in the passage? Like you don't have to understand each and particular line, but you have to understand in what is like overall message that author is trying to send us. Then coming to the questions part, like most of the questions are like title. What would be the appropriate title of the passage? Inference questions, 2 3 questions of like vocab. Uh, I will say that for most of the questions, you will need to like figure out what is author main intention behind main intention for for what purpose is like
Yes,
he
yes.
writing the passage, for
Hmm.
appreciating something, criticizing something, like for
Exactly.
improving something, or he's like narrating something.
Hmm.
Uh, like English में भी tones questions past 2 years से आ रहे थे, like it was bit of surprise that no questions of tones of the passage came this year.
So CLAT is full of surprises, and one should
But
be like ready
I
to
will
surprise.
but I will say like you should revise tones regularly. It may come like next year or even after that. So,
And Simran, one thing I want to ask here in the when it comes to the English, like many of the students, like in the class or irrespective of where we are talking or when we are talking, first and primest thing of every student is sir reading का क्या करें. Like बहुत सारे students ऐसे होते हैं जो हिंदी मीडियम से आते हैं, राइट, या फिर जिन्होंने कभी रीडिंग नहीं की होती है या रीडिंग की हैबिट नहीं होती है, बुक रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग की हैबिट नहीं होती है. सो आई होप कि आप किस तरह से उसको बताएंगे कि रीडिंग हैबिट को किस तरीके से बिल्ड किया जाए.
आई विल नॉट से जैसे कि अगर कोई हिंदी मीडियम से है तो उसके लिए कि क्लैट क्रैक करना लाइक बहुत ही ज्यादा मुश्किल है जैसे बस क्योंकि रीडिंग हैबिट तो सबकी की सेम ही रहती है मोस्टली स्कूल में. तो
Exactly.
अगर सर आपके पास जैसे 1 ईयर या 2 ईयर प्रोग्राम में हो आप किसी कोचिंग में तो आपको जैसे फर्स्ट ईयर में तो आई विल से कि रीडिंग में थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट डेवलप करना चाहिए. लाइक स्टार्टिंग के आप 10-15 डेज कोई ऐसी बुक या नोवेल रीड कर सकते हैं जैसे कोई टॉपिक में आपका इंटरेस्ट हो, साइंस फिक्शन, टेक्नोलॉजी या पॉलिटिक्स कुछ भी होगी जिसमें आप इंटरेस्टेड हो कि वो रीड करने में. लाइक स्टार्टिंग के 5-6 डेज में वो करके उसके बाद लाइक इजी न्यूज़पेपर्स हैं जिनकी लैंग्वेज इतनी टफ नहीं है लाइक ट्रिब्यून, वो आप 10 दिन रीड करके उसके बाद द हिंदू या द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस पर लाइक
Exactly.
स्विच कर सकते हैं. तो लाइक अगर आप न्यूज़पेपर 6-7 मंथ रेगुलरली करते हैं तो आई डोंट थिंक लाइक क्लैट विल बी इन क्लैट रीडिंग दैट मच ऑफ content that is like given in CLAT will be a difficult task for you if you read regularly like for 6-7 months.
It was a very nice suggestion, Simran, and I want to add कि बहुत बच्चों का ये कंफ्यूजन रहता है कि सर सिमरन ने जैसे बताया कि कुछ इजी स्टार्ट करें जहां से इजी लैंग्वेज हो, राइट. तो जिन लोगों को थोड़ा इजी लैंग्वेज पढ़ना है, नोवेल्स पढ़ने हैं, आई विल रिकमेंड कि गो फॉर चेतन भगत. And it's very easy and very lucid language. Then you can come to the newspaper like easy newspapers. Indian Express you can start, Hindustan Times, Times of India, then come to the Hindu, right?
Yes.
So Simran, let's come to the second aspect of this paper, that is the GK. How you tackled this paper? GK was tough this year. So how you tackle, and you gave a very fine example of GK also. So tell us the journey of your current affairs, how you covered it.
I will say like seeing GK section in the exam like it surprised me a lot like type of
Yes.
questions which were asked like in sample paper questions were bit different like from what were asked in
Exactly,
the
yes.
actual exam. This year there was also one difference like from past 2 years 5 questions were asked in each paragraph, but this year 7 questions were asked in from
Yes,
one
it was a
paragraph.
change in pattern though. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Like I will say some of the questions were on a easier side like India ranking on global hunger index or like president vice president question. But
yes,
some were like Nas daily question that was little bit on like unexpected side.
yes, yes.
It was like students were a bit shocked, I will say, ki, on seeing that passage. GK,
Absolutely right, Simran. Absolutely right. So, tell me one thing. Like GK was tough, as you all know that, and you really did a decent score in GK. That's why you are at AR 157, right? So, as we as a success mantra do, like we give two kind of things in the GK. To all the students, like first one is the Pravahini and second one is the Hindu analysis that is on the YouTube channel on the daily. And so, how you recommend these? How it helped you in scoring in the GK section? How
like
it helped you?
I will say Pravahini helped me as a like revision before the actual exam. Like I use it as there are like small pointers given out. I use it as a revision source before my exam. But I will say you should try like if you have time, you should try diverse sources and see what works out of what works out for you most. Then you should like study only from it and it will see that what kind of source are you like comfortable with or what is working for you. Will say if like test ones की कौन सा source अच्छा है.
Exactly. One should have a multiple sources when it comes to such competitive examination, that too at
Yes.
national level. So very perfectly said, Simran. So come to the third aspect of this paper in which you attempted 30 questions, out of you got 3 wrong, I guess. And it was
Yes,
the reasoning section.
yes, sir.
How was your experience with reasoning in CLAT actual paper and your journey? You have to explain your journey also, because you did exceptionally well in this
Yes.
section.
Like, if I start with my mocks, I will say my score very rarely touched 20, 22 marks. It was basically like 18.75, 19, 17.25,
Yes.
like in this range only. But like in mocks, options are like I will say really confusing. But on seeing reasoning section in CLAT exam, like in a detailed way, I saw that one like 6 questions were asked in each passage. So if we see overall section, one passage was actually reduced. So I have to lot like time on the basis of that. Like 5 passages were asked in total. So I will say it was a bit on a lengthier side, but if you like once carefully and like actively read the options, you will easily eliminate 2 to 3 options, 2 options easily, like in every question. Like 2 options were, I will not say that they were really tough choice to choose in between, but options were, I will say, really easy. But overall section was on lengthier side.
So if you talk in a this like this was more like a timing versus reading time, right?
Yes.
In less time you have to read more and answer. So how you actually prepared for the reasoning part, like talking about the whole years that you have given to the CLAT, like 2 year you have given, and how actually you have gave your reasoning section, like tell us something about it.
Like I also told you sir, in English section that first part is in this exam always like developing a reading habit, so you
Exactly.
can like understand the basic. Especially in reading, like you will have to read between the lines, like what is author trying to imply, like what is his assumption. I will also say that you should like practice more and more in reasoning. Then you will be like analyze it. Where are you going wrong? Like what is difference between author's reasoning and your reasoning in answer key of that section or mock test that you are giving. I will say like practice is the key to ace reasoning, as
Okay.
from my experience.
So according to you, the only key to NLU is reading and practice, right?
Yes,
Like
and I
and
will
practice.
also add like be calm and like managing time is the biggest thing in CLAT
Exactly,
exam.
yes. Yes, because it is a like 2 hour paper and you have to do 150 questions, that too on paragraph
Yes,
based. Then timing and reading should be managed altogether, right?
yes.
So coming to the next aspect, the another heart of this exam, like legal section. So how you tackle this section and tell us something about it, like how you studied legal.
Mhm. Like if we talk about the exam, sir, I will say same as reading. Like legal was on the bit lengthier side, I will say, from like if we see past year. And there was one more thing, like most of the passages were some were related to legal CA. Like they were not from like basic principles like tort, contract. Only I think 1 to 2 passages were there. Or I will say like study legal current affairs as much as you can.
Perfect.
Keep
Yes.
you.
So here we can say that like if you're studying legal, then conventional you study in the class, right? Tort,
Yes,
contract, and other IPR, international law
yes,
subjects, IPC, even criminal law. One read
yes,
in the class, but one should go a hand with the legal current affairs also. Like this
yes,
year, I think they have a question on surrogacy and
yes,
data
sir.
protection bill, which was in the
Yes, sir.
current affairs.
Criminal identification bill and
Exactly,
the
criminal identification bill, and we have covered these kind of things while doing the marathon sessions, right?
yes, sir.
So
There are
according to
like
yes,
several apps also like bar and bench, live law, and you
exactly.
can also search on like YouTube. Last one is legal CA, that type of for revising legal CA.
So again, that masala of like using like these kind of social media platform in a better way, and
Yes,
छोटा सा तड़का हो जाएगा वहां पे अगर आप daily reading habit बना लेते हैं,
yes, sir.
तो it will
Like
help in the end, right? Eventually, it will
reading
help.
is like a must to clear CLAT.
Exactly.
I would say.
Exactly. So one should not limit his or her source of reading, right?
Yes.
So one should keep on reading, like just building the habit, and eventually it will help you, irrespective it is
Yes.
legal, reasoning, or current affairs, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So, Simran, let's come to one of the favorite section of yours. And in the class also, you used to tell like I had a good chance in maths. And surprisingly, CLAT gave a final blow to maths. Like they just gave a very difficult paper in maths. So
Yes.
a difficult plus lengthy paper. Like in
Yes.
every questions you have to do calculation. Earlier
Yes.
it was like till 2022 they had a different thing, but this year again a surprise by the CLAT. So how you tackled this surprise of CLAT of maths?
Like I will say, like rather than doing all the three DIs in a hurry or making like committing a mistake in them, I will say like reduce the time to do only two DIs, like do only two DIs, like but like do them in good way, like you are sure that you are not committing a mistake in calculation or
Exactly.
something else.
Yes.
Like, I will say one DA was doable, but second was a bit on a lengthier side, so it required a lot of time. I will say from which like you denote to math. Like most students do math in the last
Exactly.
15
Yes.
minutes of exam, so that was kind of pressure. Also, of there was also kind of pressure of math. Like uh, most students were able to do only one DI. So was case with me. Like I was able to do one DI and like 2 3 questions from next DI.
Okay. So, but still you managed some decent marks in maths. And Simran, tell us one thing. Like most of the students, is it not like the case of one or two students? Like if you ask the students, and I think people also mention it, right? कि मैथ्स सेक्शन बनाने में बहुत लोग फियर करते हैं, लाइक मेरा मैथ्स ठीक नहीं है, मेरा मैथ्स अच्छा नहीं है. So it's a 10th level maths, right? Not like a
Yes,
something called theta sin theta thing is going on. It's a basic
yes,
numerology going on. So what are you, what do you want to suggest to those students who thinks like maths is really difficult, how they can tackle, like at least 5 marks they could score, like what
yes,
you want to suggest? And you are a humanities students, and
yes.
you still did something good in maths, so tell something our viewers about maths.
Like I will say that first of all, if you are really weak in maths, like you could use some teacher's help or find lectures online wherever you find yourself comfortable or easy to understand. Like first of all, start with basics like 8 9 10 class math. Like denote 3 to 4 days. I think it will be like you will be able to complete the basics in 3 to 4 days of math. Then I will suggest that you practice like 10 to 12 questions on the daily basis. And if you practice them for a month with timer, I think you will be able to do really good in maths section.
So just like the RCs and legal and reasoning, the fundamental was reading, and here in
Yes,
math the fundamental was like you start from the very basic, like class 7th
yes,
8th or ninth maths if you do, then come to this advanced portion, right?
yes.
Okay, very nice. And so, Simran, we had a very nice talking like about the subjects. So let's come to some kind of experiences that you gained and how the experiences converted in this rank, right? So tell us something about how the classroom program helped you, Simran.
Like sir, anywhere you go, you will have to work yourself. Like you will have to read yourself. But like if
Exactly.
you need some kind of guidance, if you feel like you need someone to guide you, then I think you should opt for like classroom program. If you feel the need to that some person or some teacher like needs to guide you, but if you are like who can read on his own, like I will say you will be able to do really well on yourself.
Exactly. Like if you want guidance, then you should like opt for such kind of things, right?
Yes.
Very nice, Simran. And tell us something about the mocks, right? You must have practiced some decent number of mocks. And
Yes.
how Success Mantra mock helped you in like acing these ranks?
I will say like sir, mocks were very diversified. So in some mocks, like legal was on like very tough. I was not able to score even like 24 25 marks.
Yes.
Oh, like score changes in every mock. But I will also say that do not limit yourself like to only one kind of mocks. Practice every material that like you are able to find or you have purchased somewhere. Like you need to diversify. Like I will say, practice as much as many mock possible and diversify them. Like do
So
not get habitual of one pattern only in mocks.
exactly. And the pattern we have seen, like CLAT is changing. IELTS is
Yes,
also changing its pattern, right?
yes,
So diversification is one needs to implement in his or her preparation. So
yes.
how many number of mocks? I'm just curious to know, like how many number of mocks you might have attempted? Any rough
I think
idea of success mantra and complete? How many mocks?
50-55. I think around
55. So
50-55
I
more.
think on 18 December, the actual CLAT was like 56th mock, right?
Yes, sir.
Wasn't it? So 50 mocks. So Simran has set a stage. Like if you do 50 mocks, then you can ace to top 3 NLU, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice, very nice, Simran.
Even
So
not, I will say that top three, you can even reach NLSIU. Like if you practice 50 mocks and analyze them properly, you can easily get AIR one, I will say.
perfect. Very nice, Simran. So generous, like you are saying this. So next, Simran, how you tackle the low scoring? Like it was not like every time you are getting decent marks, 90 plus, 100 plus. Sometimes there were like on the darker side also, right? So how
Yeah,
you
like
tackle that dark
okay,
side?
yes, sir. First of all, sir, I will say like sometimes mock score really demotivates when like mock score comes to 40s, 50s, in like that range. Or is there like key to that is you like if you will like 2 to 4 is your mock timing, and like after 4 like you rest for 1 hour or you do what you daily do. Then after 1 hour, like sit and analyze each and particular question, why you marked this particular option, or what was the author reasoning behind it, like why were you wrong and why was author correct. Like you should analyze it properly. I think if you analyze even 5 to 6 mocks properly, your score will change drastically in that
Oh, nice. Like
particular session.
analyzing is one of the things. Like you should not be like giving mocks.
Yes,
Like
sir, you will
giving
have to
mocks
like
and not analyzing is not the thing. That one
analyze
should.
section. I will say it all. I was little bit like weaker on this analyzing part, but I will say it is a must to do if you want to improve your score in this section.
Exactly. Analysis of the mock, like where you did something wrong, is
Yes,
must. तभी वो गलती
even
दोबारा
like
नहीं होनी चाहिए.
questions not only wrong, you will you, I think I will also recommend that questions जो आपने जैसे सही किए questions, उनको भी देखिए कि आपने क्या रीजन सोच के सही मार्क किया कि वो सेम मैच हो रहा है या नहीं.
सो दिस इज द केस लाइक कि मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स वो क्या करते हैं मॉक तो देते हैं बट उनको एनालाइज नहीं करते. एनालाइज भी कैसे कर रहे हैं? जो आंसर गलत है बस उनको सही कर लिया और पढ़ लिया. दैट इज नॉट द एनालिसिस. यू शुड
Yes,
लाइक आस्क व्हाई आई हैव मार्क दिस एंड व्हाई दिस इज द आंसर.
yes,
दिस इज द की
yes,
टू एनालाइज द मॉक. एंड वन मोर थिंग, लाइक सिमरन ने एक बहुत अच्छी बात बोली है कि उसके 40s 50s मार्क्स आते थे. दैट इज अ जेन्युइन थिंग टू से एंड ही डिड गॉट सम काइंड ऑफ मार्क्स. सो एक बहुत बड़ा मैसेज है बच्चों के लिए, लाइक कि जो टॉप 3 या टॉप 5 एनएलयूज में जाते हैं उनके मॉक में मार्क्स कभी कम आते ही नहीं. उनके भी मार्क्स कम आते हैं. व्हाट दे डू इज दे एनालाइज एंड दे
yes.
प्रोग्रेस, राइट? So next thing is what message? This is the last question that I'm asking you, Simran. What message you want to give to the future law aspirant? What exactly? What is the mantra you want to give them?
I will say read as much as possible, like give mocks, practice as much, work on your like basics for like some time and revise them regularly. Like I will say, practice is the key. With practice, you will also revise your old concepts, and reading is the essential part. Like you will need to have like good reading speed also, and in that like when you are reading, you should also be able to comprehend what you are reading. It's not like you are reading and you forget that what you read in like last paragraph. You will
Yes.
also have to remember that thing and comprehend that thing. And I will say like a newspaper will help in that thing, like in a very good way, like I will say.
Okay, so one of the mantra I think Simran has given is read, revise, practice, multiplied with newspaper, right?
Yes, sir.
A very congratulations again, Simran, and wish you a very bright future also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.